Welcome to Tomb Runners, Roy now, and we have a story. We have a brother that went over to Kenya and met a woman, had a baby, ended up bringing the woman over here. Something must have happened. Seemed like they broke up, and the girl is in Vegas living her best life. She got videos with some Caucasian fellas. She playing golf, and she's saying that she took the brother on a finesse tour, and it just doesn't look good. But it seems like he might have had some problems. I want to hear his side of the story, but it seems like he went over there. It seemed like his money got bad. He had to come back to the States. And when you're bringing somebody back from overseas, and you're bringing your wife back from overseas, it's you have to make sure that you have this woman. You have to make sure you have to do some serious research before you bring her over. You really want to see. You really want to see if you can, bring her over for a little vacation, see how she acts. Send her back. Hopefully you can do that because you need to see how she operates, how she's working. You need to know how she operates, how she's working. We need to be able to speak a language. If she speaks several languages, you need to be trying to speak those several languages even before you bring her over here. And you need to be able to send her back if she's not acting right. And luckily for us, if she's a green card holder, which most guys who bring their wife over, probably going to be a green card holder for 5 or 6 years or longer. And there have been some new laws or new immigration rules that he might be able to do something. But we only know her side of the story and the results of what she has done. So, she's stalking a bunch of stuff. He's kind of really been out of the picture. We haven't seen the child, and I would, if I was him, make sure you get a DNA test on that child. Make sure that child is yours because she is being reckless. And seemed like he might have moved a little bit quickly, but I'm sorry to hear that for the brother. He tried. And that's one thing you have to do when you're overseas. A lot of people want to be like, oh well, if you think you're going to get a discount because you go to Africa, but no, you have to watch all of these women wherever you go. And just because even you have brothers who do that, well, oh, she's a black Colombian or she's a black, you still have to watch them. You still have to watch them. You have to protect yourself at all time. You have to really, really check them because bringing them over, you change some of the power that you have is going to change when she comes back to America because there's different laws, different ways of acting, and then you have to vet her friends. It seems like she was hanging out with a bunch of people that might not have been the best people for her to hang out with, and that's something you have to manage. So it's a lot of things to do. You can bring a woman over, but yeah, it's sad, and I'll be talking about this more because she's definitely out of the box. She definitely seems to be a wild child, and really, that's not somebody you want to bring. That's not somebody you really want to have a child with. But she really seems to be off the chain, and it's not a good look for the black man in America bringing a woman over here from Africa and getting this kind of service. But things happen. Wish him the best. He does have. It seems like he has a child with her. I would get that child checked out, and maybe he worked something out to keep keeping it. It looks like he might be keeping the child, and so maybe that's the deal. He doesn't have to pay no support. She can do what she wants to do. So like I say, we don't know her. We don't know his side of the story. We do. We don't. We know her side somewhat because she has put some stuff out there, and she's on Instagram She's flaunting herself, and it looks like she has got some, maybe a lot of makeup, a lot of filters. She looks like she might even got some surgery because she looks a lot different than she was before. So that's why we named the video Two Face, is because she seems like she changed up on the brother, and that's one of the things that you really, when you're bringing a woman over here to America, you're hoping that hopefully you checked her out very well while you were over there with her, and when you bring her over here, you're not looking to change up. You're looking for her to stay the same. Luckily, my Colombiana hasn't changed up, man. She was the same. She's been the same woman that I got in Colombia, and she's been the same woman here. And I think there were some things that I did, and I will try to tell you brothers how to do it before you do bring a sister over here, or any woman over here. There's things that you have to do to make sure you get the system right. Because like I say, when you do bring a woman over here, it's a lot of things that can go wrong. It is way easier. I would recommend, if you can, you keep her over there and especially for a good length of time. If you are going to bring her over here, you want to get her, probably, a young girl over here is probably not the best bet. You probably want to let her get a little seasoning, maybe when she gets in her late 20s, maybe, early 30s, might be a decent time to bring her over. She's done lived a little life. She's all been together for a little while, and she comes over here. It's going to be a lot, when they, bright-eyed, as they say, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. So, and that has been, by many of the brothers have brought women over. It seems like if you bring them real young, you have to really, really be on them. If they are a little bit older, maybe like they're in their 30s, they'll be a little bit, they're a little bit more relaxed, and they, a lot more loyal. You don't see it happening so much as the woman gets older when she comes over here. So that's one of the first things you look at. If you have a young bride, you're going to probably need to keep her over there until she gets into her, her late 20s before you even think about bringing her over here. And, once she gets around 30 or so, it's going to be a lot easier for her to come over here because she's going to be a lot more mature and not be able to be swayed as much. But we will give you some more instructions. Not some instructions, suggestions to keep your foreign bride in the right mindset so that you can have a happy marriage and a long and productive marriage. A successful marriage. All right, peace. Two runners.
Stop saying you love me when you in rooms with people talking crazy and you sit there quiet. You don't even try to defend me. Like, stop saying you love me. Stop throwing that around like that. Stop saying you love me when I gotta move heaven and earth just to get simple things from you like effort and energy and initiative. Because if you love me, I wouldn't have to do that. Like, stop saying you love me when how you moving on social media says otherwise. Stop saying you love me when you put everybody and everything before me when it comes to what you value or what you prioritize. You don't love me. Love don't work like that. You love how convenient I make it to be with me. And we gotta start being honest with ourselves about that. Stop saying you love me. Stop saying you love me when you secretly competing with me. Stop saying you love me.